Welcome in the Physio-Surfboard therapy, physiotherapy, which uses surfboards as a tool. First, the transfers. Sometimes it's pretty hard to get people transferred, and here's an example how you can manage to do it the best way possible. On this example, you see the patient doing the transfer by himself, which is quite challenging. Stability. On this example, as soon as the board has reached the edge, you can see the torso stabilizing. Or you can use a belt as a help. Symmetry. After the first push, the patient is supposed to deal with his direction and trajectory, putting weight on his left part of the pelvis. Now you can see this hand with a hemiplegia. And then we do a reversed move with the legs, which is actually the contrary of what occurs with spasticity. And then a way to rehab the walking, with one hand controlling the pelvis. One foot, which will help the patient's foot. And then the other hand of the therapist controlling the hand of the patient and also the board, which makes the move of the upper body. And at the end you can see that the hand is pretty released, no more tension. Here you can see an example of a problem with the right arm of the patient. So a problem with sensitivity. Another goal is with both arms to paddle and to keep a straight trajectory. But the fins are putting the board on the side, and so taking off the fins can be a help. Or you can use fins on one side or the other to be a helper. Now, when we lose control, we can use a belt to stabilize the feet. Here, by reaching the left arm, you can see a reaction in the right leg, and the contrary also, right arm, left leg. So torso reaction while doing an abduction. In order to keep the safety of the patient, it was required to do a life-saving license for the lake. Beach. So on the beach you can do pre-exercises before entering the water. Now we're talking about independence. Here you can see the patient dealing with his board by himself, and then also having the right position, adjusting the pillow and everything that he needs, and then he can go by himself, having complete freedom and independence. And the help of the pillow is really good, taking the complete hand out of the water. There is also a kind of pride after the effort and doing everything by oneself. It's pretty rewarding. This activity is a nice thing to do and make good friends. And also watching the nature, your global posture is opening itself while watching the Mont Blanc on the other side of the lake, or the nature, the birds, the animals. Here is an example of broad, repeated movements for the torso. Here in a rotation. And here putting load on one side and then the other. Stability. So in this corrected position, we keep it while the small waves are disturbing our balance. And here is a counter paddling example, and then synchronized paddling, which is a bit harder. Now we are stabilizing the board, and now the board is moving with both feet on the board, which is pretty hard to keep, and sometimes some surprises. And getting back to the board can be quite challenging sometimes. And now you can have fun, playing on the board and playing with the balance of it. So an example of a sitting position going to a kneeling position. And finally getting standing on both feet, which is quite challenging, as you can see. The camera is fixed on the board, and you can see it's moving pretty much. Balance. An example with the board with the nose up, challenging for the torso to keep stability. So in this case, it was required to do pre-exercises on the beach with pillows under the board, and then to do the transfer standing to standing until the patient was able to be on his own on the board with a big smile on his face. The quietness of the lake can be very nice to center yourself. And in this example, you see the patient putting some weight on his right leg, which is not always easy, so we change the position, which forces him to do it. Goals. It's all about reaching something and being happy with it. Now we are in France, in the association Vague d'Espoir, which allows people to do some adapted surfing. So techniques in the ocean are pretty different from a lake, but it's possible though, also with an adapted board. And it's fun. All what surfing is about. I hope you have enjoyed this movie. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me.